In a multiplayer game, you would determine the first player with whatever method you see fit. If you check my reviews on my channel, the ones where I do like a proper review and not a playthrough, you will see a lot of different ideas how you can determine the starting player, even if not all of them are all too serious. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and today I have another nature-themed game for you. Of course I do. Today we will be looking at Birdwatcher by Renegade Game Studios. A huge thanks to them for entrusting me with a copy. I greatly appreciate it. Today's review will be a little bit different. I will show you a solo playthrough of the game first, mentioning the differences to the multiplayer gameplay, and then I will give you my review. Feel free to use the timestamps to jump to the part you're interested in the most. As usual, bonus points if you watch the entire video. So, Birdwatcher is a quick and simple set collection game with a beautiful bird theme. But is it any good? Well, let's find out. Before we get started, let me first quickly set up the game for today's playthrough. Alright, and that is pretty much the setup of the game. So I have had to condense it a little bit. You see this game does have quite a large footprint. And this is now the setup for the solo game, but it's also like the setup for the two-player game. There are two differences here between the solo setup and the setup for like a multiplayer game. First of all, the clearing here, you can see it's written right here. The clearing is usually empty at the beginning of the game, but not in a solo game, because the AI might actually, like the crew, how the AI is called, might actually get birds from there, that's why. And the second difference is this crew card here. I will get to that in just a minute. Alright. So, how does this game work? We are trying to attract a bird to our tree and then put them into our photo journal. The photo journal you would usually put like below your trees, right here. This game has such a large footprint that I will have to zoom out too much to see that. So what I will instead do is put the photo journal like on the tree, right? So you can see it right there. Usually we'll put it under, but it's just way too large for the camera here, to be honest. If I zoom out any further, you don't see too much anymore. So I decided to do it like this. All right, so we are trying to first of all attract birds to our tree. We already have 4 in here, and then we want to take photos of them to have them in our photo journal. That is what's happening here thematically. Also, in between, we are trying to publish a few publications, if need be, or if we are able to do so, if it fits our goals and whatsoever. The crew, the AI, will be doing the same thing. There is actually like a specific way in which the crew will act. This is a little bit more complicated, but I will explain that to you. We will play until either that jungle deck here with all the birds is depleted, or until either the player, which is me, or the crew places the 18th page in the photo journal. So I have like 18 cards here, right? And that is pretty much how long we play. I will give you just a quick overview over what you see here and how the game is played, and the rest I will explain while playing. As usual, I think that's usually the best way to do so. But before I start, let me just stay hydrated. Very important. Alright, there we go. So, now I can get started with explaining the game. So, there are like 3 main areas here in the game that we need to know, or let's say 4 areas. At the top, we have the first area here with just insect tokens. We have like ladybugs here and these, I don't know, these stink bugs, I don't know how they're called, and moths and stuff. And also I put like the first player token here. We don't really need it in a solo game, but I just put it here because it is really cool. Look at this old school camera. Very, very nice. That's, I will talk about insect tokens later. The second part we have is the jungle and also the academy, it's called. It's like below these cards. In the jungle, there are like birds that we cannot take photos of, but we can scare them into the clearing, and then we can take photos. Then here we have like the academy as well as the jungle. The academy is where we can like take publications and publish them into our photo journal. I will talk about how that works later. And then in the jungle, there are birds that we can add, that we can either add to our tree or we can scare into the clearing so that new birds will habitate, like populate the jungle. Then with the clearing, there are birds that are scared from the jungle to the clearing and also from the trees to the clearing. So it's like jungle, clearing, tree, and also back to the clearing. And the fourth area we need is our trees, right? So our trees work like this. It's like that longer board here. And with the tree at the top sit the birds that just sit on top of our tree that we can take photos of. And below, usually below, you would put your photo journal. With 18 cards in our case, you would scale that down depending on player count. At a 2-player count would be 16, 3 players 14, and a 4 to 5 player count you would only have 12 cards in your photo journal. And the other two parts in the tree you can see on the left, you can see all the actions. So that is really cool. You see all the actions that you can do as a player. Might be a little bit small to see, but I will explain all the actions later on. And on the right, we see like what is being scored at the end of the game. And that is pretty much what you see here. In a solo game, you also have the crew card. The crew card just, there are like 6 difficulties: easy, medium, hard, and then 2, and then I think 3 more. I'm playing on the solo mode 2, which is medium. I think that's fine. That's number 2 of 6. Just to kind of show you how this game works. So here, like 2 CP down here. That means that is what the AI, the crew, will get at the end of the game. Just 2 extra points plus 1 book. That is important for scoring like the publications later on. And that is pretty much all you see here. Now I will quickly go over all the actions and how the game is being scored, and then we can start playing. As I said, I do have timestamps in this video, just in case you know how the game works and you just want to go to the playthrough or just want to go to the review. Feel free to jump. But I think it's important to kind of explain what this game is about and how it works. We have 3 actions we can take per turn. And we have 5 different actions we can take. We can first of all take a photo. That means we take one of these birds here in our tree. We startle the tree. So because of the flash of the camera, right? So it flies back into the clearing and is startled. We note that by putting it sideways, 90 degrees. And then we can take a photo of a different bird that we have not startled. For example, this one here. And taking a photo means putting it onto our journal. Usually below the tree. Now I will just put it on my tree, right? So that will be our photo journal. That's the first action. Second action we can do is running into the jungle. That means that we move all the birds from the jungle into the clearing. We need to put them on different spots of these 4. And also we always need to first fill empty spots. And then we just refill the jungle with the jungle deck here. The third action we can do is the bird call. That means we can move all unstartled, that are just right up and not rotated 90 degrees, all unstartled birds of one single species from the clearing and the jungle into our tree. So, for example, let's say we would choose the red bird of paradise here. There's one there and one there. They're both unstartled. They would both go into my tree. Remember, or keep in mind, that the tree has a limit of 6 cards. We cannot have more than 6 cards in our tree. If we don't have space for more birds, then we cannot take all the birds. Okay, so I have 4 here. I can take 2 birds. Imagine there were 4 red birds of paradise. I could only take 2. And then we have 2 more actions that cost 2 actions each. They're more expensive, right? One of them is the zoom lens. What we can do is we can add a bird from another player's tree to our photo journal. So we can just take a photo with a zoom lens of one of the other birds here and put it into our tree. But we also have to move one bird from our tree to their tree, and also they can draw a card from the bird deck if they have enough space. So this is a double-edged sword, right? So we actually can steal a bird, but they will get 2 birds in exchange, which is never bad. Having a lot of birds in your tree is never a bad thing. And the last action that we can do, which also costs 2 action, is add one of these publications to our photo journal. So let's take a look at one of these publication cards. There are 3 parts, or let's say 4 parts of a publication card. The text explains pretty much like what is on the left here, and also there is like a little bit of flavor text here. But the most important things are these symbols here. So for example, here we get 2 citation points, these victory points are called, per black sickle bill, which is these birds here, in our photo journal. Then it also says where in our photo journal. Here it says like it's like the infinity sign, so everywhere. But it could also be like the preceding 4 pages, or like each bird in our tree, right? So it always depends. And then we have the book icon here. The book icon means that at the end of the game, the player with the most book icons gets +5 points, and the one with the least gets -2 points, negative. So that's not too good. And then also it gets like an extra 2 citation points here, right? And that is how these work. This one here gives 2 citation points per identical bird in the preceding 4 pages of the photo journal. So if I have like 4 if I have like 4 identical birds here, I will get like 8 points if I put the publication right after it. So you see, these are kind of sometimes pretty tough to actually put in there. And then this one gives us 1 citation point for each bird in our tree at the end of the game. So if we just collect a lot of birds, then this can get quite a lot of points. Also 3 books here. So that's how these works. The last thing I'm going to explain is how to score, and then we go over to the playthrough. So we score points in 4 different ways. First of all, we get all our citation points in our photo journal. Citation points are like all these points that have like this laurel wreath around them, like the gold ones for the publications, but also the ones here on the birds. Speaking of birds, this is a set collection game. That means like the same kind of bird, you see that they have like the same numbers up here. So let me find an example. Let's take the 2 blue birds of paradise here. So you see they're the same bird, and you see here like 4, 6, 11, 20. 4, 6, 11, 20. And that means I get like as many points as I have cards of the same type right next to each other. So if I have 2 of these blue birds of paradise right next to each other, that's 6 points. Had I only 1, 4. And that goes up to 4 birds, that's 20. And then like the 5th and 6th bird would not count for that set anymore, because if I have like the 5th bird right next to it, it would start a new set, right? And then there are also birds like this one here, that just gives 4 victory points. And then also it says here, like for the most sickle bills, I get 7 points. For the second most, 3 points. And then also if you have the greatest species variety in your photo journal, so the most different birds, you also get 7 points. Second rank gets 3 points for that. The third thing you get points for is these insect tokens. So whenever you actually take a photo of a bird that has an insect token there, for example this one here has a moth here, then you will also get that insect token. There are 5 different insect tokens, and at the end of the game you see how many unique ones you have. For 1 you get 1 point, for 2 3 points, for 3 unique ones 6 points, for 4 10, and for 5 15 points. But of course you can also have duplicates, which is pretty cool, because you can always, like when it's your turn, discard 2 insect token of any kind, doesn't matter, to take an extra action in your turn, right? So you want to collect these 5 different ones for the points, right? Because 15 points is quite a lot, but you also maybe want to have more insect tokens to actually take extra actions. And the last thing we get points for is our publication award. So that means like you count all the books you have here, as I said, right? And if you have like the most books, you get 5 points. If you have the least, you get -2 points. And that is pretty much how the game is played and how it is scored. And now I suggest we start. In the solo game, the solo player starts first. In a multiplayer game, you would determine the first player with whatever method you see fit. If you check my reviews on my channel, the ones where I do like a proper review and not a playthrough, you will see a lot of different ideas how you can determine the starting player, even if not all of them are all too serious. Alright, so in a solo game, the solo player starts, which is me, and now I have 3 actions that I can do something. So let's just assess the situation first. So actually I do have a greater bird of paradise. 2 of those give 9 points. That is quite a lot. Also the red birds of paradise aren't too bad, right? So what I think I will do, I will actually, I think, get the greater bird of paradise into my tree. Yes, it's not a whole lot, right? It's only 1 bird, but these are some that I could actually start collecting. So I think that's what I will do. With my first action, I will do a bird call and get that into my tree. What I could also do instead is first run into the jungle. Then I could move these 3 here on these 3 positions, and then get new cards out. Maybe there's another greater bird of paradise, right? You know what? Let me do that. So first I will run into the jungle and move all these birds here from the jungle into the clearing. I can choose where they go, and I will just, they need to go on different stacks. And then we will refill the jungle. Let's see if we have another greater, oh, we have another greater bird of paradise. That is great. And now I will do the bird call. So I will get these 2 onto my tree, and now my tree is already full. because remember, we can only have 6 birds on the tree, right? That's the maximum we can have. And then at the end, I will just take a photo. So I will have to startle one bird into the clearing. Oh, by the way. So I will startle. It doesn't really matter because I will get rid of all of them, I think. But I will startle the blue sicklebill right here, and get the greater bird of paradise into my photo journal. I think that is a pretty good idea. And these are my 3 actions, right? And now it's the AI's player's turn, the crew. And the crew, there's like a few steps you have to like go down in the rules. And I actually, one thing that's pretty cool, let me show that to you here. This is the solo expedition, that's the solo mode, and it's just these 2 pages, that's all. It's actually pretty simple solo mode, but you will probably have to go through these steps. There are like 3 different steps. So first, you check whether the crew has 6 cards or more in their tree. It doesn't, so it has less than 6 cards. What you do then is, it takes the leftmost publication card, right here, and will add that to their photo journal here. And what really is a problem, discards these 2 publication cards. That's bad. I could have foreseen that, but I actually wanted that to have that 1 publication card. But well, that's the way it is, I suppose. And then we just refill that. So that was step number 1. That's always the first thing you check. Had the crew actually had 6 cards or more in their tree, then they would place all birds of the most abundant species into their photo journal. Right? That's what it would then do, but that's not the case because it doesn't have enough birds yet. Secondly, you see, you check, are all these birds unique in jungle and tree or not? And we see they are not all unique. There are a few that are duplicates here. And if multiple birds of a single species do exist in the jungle and clearing, you add those to the crew's tree, right? So that would be these 3 here, like this. And you know what? The crew does not have a maximum number of birds it can have in their trees. Let me put these on top of each other. So you see, like, the footprint of the game is quite large. And that is it. Like, so it's just pretty much these 2 steps, right? But you have to kind of remember those. Okay, so let me just refill the jungle here, and then it's my turn again. So what will I do? I actually want that greater bird of paradise. So I think what I will do... Oh, by the way, that wasn't started anymore, last round. What I will do is... Yeah, I have a few ideas what I could do. I think I will actually... yeah, I will add that one to my tree, right? I will do that by taking a photo, but I will also have to put 1 bird startled into the clearing. Let me do it with that one here. And then I will do the same with this one here. So I will just put them like this because that's all we need to know how many we have here. And so now you see I have 3 of those. That's the maximum number. And I will have to start with that one as well. And now I have 1 more action. With that 1 action, I could maybe get more birds. I could get the 2 birds of paradise, but there are 4. So I would actually rather want to get... Well, but if I don't get them, then the AI will get them, right? So that means let me get these 2 birds here via the bird call. Okay. So now these are not stalled anymore at the end of my turn. And now it's the AI's turn. And for the AI's turn, we will do the same thing again. Does the crew have 6 or more birds? Yes. Yes, the crew does. Then we take the birds that it has the most of, which is this one here, into the photo journal. And that is pretty crazy. So you see, like 3 birds in 1 turn. So they already have 4 birds, we only have 3. So the AI is pretty tough here, actually. And then we see, do we have unique? Are these all unique? They aren't. So they take the one that you can see the most of here to their tree again, like this. So, and you already see, right? Next round, they will actually add these 3 birds here as well. So, man, this is pretty tough. Okay, it's our turn again. So what do we want to do? The The Red Bird of Paradise, they give 8 points for 2. We don't have enough birds here, right? So, you know what? Let me first do a bird call and get these 2 into my into my tree. Like this. And then I will, yeah, I think I will add this one here to my, well, actually, let's take a look at the publications. So we have new publications. 2 citation birds per different bird species in the preceding 4 pages of your photojournal. They're all the same. 2 citation points per publication card in your photojournal. Well, doesn't really matter. 3 citation points for this card. Just 3 points. With 2 actions, I can get more points here. So I will take a photo of the Red Bird of Paradise and I will startle the Blue Bird of Paradise. Like this. Then I will take a photo of another Red Bird of Paradise and startle that Blue Bird of Paradise. And that, I think that was 3 turns, 3 actions, right? Yeah. Then that was already my turn. Now it's the crew's turn again. So first of all, they will see, they will check, do they have 6 or more cards? They do. So the one they have the most of, they will put into their photo journal. And you see, we already have 7 in the journal here. At 18, we are done, right? So, yeah, it doesn't take too long anymore. And then we see here, not all birds are unique. So we will take these 2 and put them here. Which is actually kind of bad. Because this would actually give them a lot of points. So it's our turn again. I'm uncertain of what to do. I would like more of these Red Bird of Paradise, but then again, these would also be good to have, right? Like steal them from them, but they can't put them into their tree next round anyway. So I think I will just run to the jungle, so I can scare these. The imposter nestlings are pretty cool because they become a copy of the bird immediately preceding it, right? So let's see what we can do here. Let me put that on here and that one on here. Let's see what happens. Okay, that is not too great. Oh, also by the way, the AI would have gotten these 2 insect tokens here, right? Let me just put them right there. And would I have gotten insect tokens? I don't think so. No, I wouldn't have. Okay, yeah, insect tokens would also be great. Oh, I don't know what to do here. Like, these are all unique. But the imposter nestlings aren't too bad. So I will actually get these into my tree. And then I will get these into my tree as well. Like that. I think that works quite well. And that was 3 actions. So it's now the AI's turn. They don't have enough birds here. So they will just take this publication card, remove these 2, and then refill the academy like this. I'll take a look at that in just a moment. And then they will check here, are these all unique? They actually are all unique. Then they will run into the jungle and they will put them like they will start at the spot that is empty, and then they will put them in a clockwise order in here. So they actually did not get any new birds. I am quite happy about that. Ooh, the King of Saxony 3 times. That is not too bad. So what do we have? 1 citation point per insect token. You have a game end. That could be good. What, 6 citation points for this card? 6 points. Okay, that's okay. And then 2 citation points per insect in the preceding 4 pages of your photo journal. That is very, very, very specific. So what I will do, I will actually do a bird call and get these Kings of Saxony into my tree. 3. Oh no, I can only get these 5. That's all I can get because I have too many birds. But that is fine. Then I will take a photo of the imposter nestling, which will become a Red Bird of Paradise here then. And I will put that back here and startle it. And then I will also and then I will get take the King of Saxony and startle this one here. And that is pretty much it. Alright. These are not startled anymore. Okay, so at the moment I do have 15 points plus 12 plus 3. Okay, That's not perfect, but it's okay. No, still no 6 birds here, so we'll take that publication card and remove these 2. So you see, it actually plays quite easily, the solo mode. You kind of have to think like, okay, what is the AI doing now? Do they have more than 6 cards? Yes or no? With the unique birds? That's one thing you first need to understand. But as soon as you do, it's actually quite easy. Alright, and then do we have duplicates? We do, so the AI will take these 2 birds here. Okay, wonderful. Then it's our turn. We definitely need birds here. But there aren't too many good ones. But you know what? I will just take this 1 bird. Actually, yeah, I will just take this 1 bird here. So, and then I will put this one into my tree here and startle that one. And then I will get something else into my tree. I don't know which one yet, but this one, if I have 2 of that one, I could get 13 points, which is quite a lot. Let's take a look at the publication cards also. 2 citation points per page with no insect in the preceding 4 pages of your journal. That would be actually good. That would give me quite a lot of points. I will get that next round because yeah, I will actually instead put birds in their tree. So that is okay. I will get that next time. When you gain this card, you immediately add any birds from the jungle or clearing to your tree. Okay. Interesting. That's just 1 free bird, okay. When you gain this card, immediately add any bird from the jungle or clearing to your tree. Oh, same thing. That's actually the same publication. Okay, I will get, via bird call, I will get the Arfag Astrapia. Okay, it's the AI's turn again, the crew. You see that they have 6 or more cards here, so they will take this bird they have the most of and put it into their tree. It's getting there. 4, 7, 9, 11, 12 of 18 cards already. So we are close to being done already, I think. Okay, and then these birds, are they all unique? No, they aren't. So it will actually, the crew will actually take the Wilson's Bird of Paradise. Like this. Okay. And now it's our turn. What I want to do, I want to take a publication card because these all of it don't have insect tokens. So I will take this one here for 2 actions, put it in here because that is worth 8 points. That's quite a lot. And then I have 1 more action because that was 2 actions, right? And I will do a bird call and get these 2 into my tree because 2 of them grant me 8 points, which is pretty good. Okay. The AI's turn has 6 cards, so they will put the most abundant bird in their tree. They have 2 of that one and 2 of that one. And then we check more things. So first of all, we check, and that's what I mean with like, you have to like look through that list on the solo sheet, right? Because it's not that easy to remember all of that. So now these 2 are tied. So now we check the rightmost card in the photo journal doesn't match any of those. It doesn't. Otherwise, it would take these. So then we check it's worth the most points for that number of bird. That these 2 are worth 6. These 2 are worth 7. If these were the same also, then you would have to look at the longest ribbon. These are worth 7, so these we put into the tree. Are these all unique? No, they aren't. They will take these 2 here. Oh man, the game is almost done. I don't have a lot of birds, but let's see what we can do. Okay, I would like to get these into my tree. Oh, wait, no, I made a mistake. Sorry. The AI would actually get 2 ladybugs. And I don't have any insect tokens so far. Okay. What is the new one? 1 citation bird per different bird species in your photo journal. I have 1, 2, 3 different species. That would be 3 points. That's not too much yet. So that's not a whole lot. Okay, then I will do the following. First of all, I will do a bird call and get these 2 into my tree here. So, and then I will take a photo of the Western Perosia and startle this one here. And then I will get another Western Perosia and startle this one. Let me just put it on here. Okay, that was my turn. Another King of Saxony. Okay, so 6 or more birds, yes. 2 of the same, yes. And now we actually see. Do these match the rightmost one? No. How much points do they get? How many points do they give? These two 6 and these two 6 as well. All right. So now we look at the one with the longest ribbon, and that's the Bluebird of Paradise here, like this. Which is now an issue because they can also get these, because now they check. These are all not unique, so they will actually get like birds in their tree. And now we look, do they take these two or these two? First, we take a look at the most abundant species in their tree. None of those. Then we take a look at what the most points, which give the most points, which is the King of Saxony. Actually, these two would grant them more points probably, but I mean, that's how the rules go. I'm quite happy about that. Taking these two. All right, so now it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So next round will be the last round actually. No, this will actually be my last round now. Because yeah, well, the AI went after me, right? I was the first player, so if the AI ends the game, I don't get a turn anymore. So what do we do? Well, this one would give me 1, 2, 3, 4 points. I could also maybe like, I don't know, get these 2 birds, put one into my tree, which would also be 4 points. So it doesn't really matter what I do actually. What I could also do is maybe steal one from them, because this one here grants me 7 points. Just that one bird. That wouldn't be too bad. I think that wouldn't be too bad. So I think I will do that. I will do the zoom lens. The zoom lens lets me take this bird, put it into my tree, give them a bird, and also let them draw 1 card from here. Okay. So that was 2 actions. Now I have 1 action left. With that I cannot really do anything. So I guess... And they will just put birds there, so it doesn't really matter. You know what? I will just run to the jungle and see what happens. Let's see what happens, just for the fun of it. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oh wow! I could have used these here. All right, and now it's the AI's turn. The crew. We see they have 6 or more birds, so they will add these or these into their tree, and these give more points. So that's why they will put these in here. They now have 18 cards, so that means the game is pretty much over, but they will still get birds. They will get these 2 here, but it doesn't really matter because the game is now over. All right, so, and now we just count up points, right? That is actually pretty straightforward. You can see here on the right what we get. So first of all, we get all the points in our photo journal. So let's take a look at our photo journal first. So we get 15 points for these 3 birds here. Then we get 12 points. So we are now at 27 points. Then we get another 10 points for these 2 birds of Saxony, which is now 37. Then we get 2 points per card, the last 4 cards without an insect token. So that is another 8 points. So that should be 45. Then we have these 2 here, which is 8 points. So that is 53 points. And then here we get another 7, which is pretty nice. So we had 60 points just for our photo journal. Then we take a look at, let me check. We get it at the most black sycables. We definitely don't have that. And also like the greatest species variety, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that doesn't work either. Unique insect tokens. I should have gotten 1 here. So that is just 1 point. Oh no, we're not doing well. We're not doing well. And then the publication award. I have 1 book and they have more, of course. So that is all the points we get. I only have 61 points. All right, now let's go over to the AI. Pretty much the same thing. We will start here with the points in their photo journal. So that's 2 and 4 points just for these 2 publications. Then this publication gives us 2 points per sycable, and they have 3 of those. So that is in the 6 points. They already have 10 points with just the first card. Come on. And then here that's 14. So that's 24 points. That's another 20. Oh man, that's already 44 points. Then here, this is 2 per different bird species. And the preceding 4 cards, they get 2 points. So that is, yeah, that's actually 4 points because they have two different species. Then they get 1 point per unique insect token. They only have, oh no, they should have gotten one of those. They have 2 unique insect tokens. Oops. So that is another 2 points. So they're at 50. And then here we have 4, 6, that's 8 points, 58. Yeah, we definitely lost, definitely. Then here they have 7 points, and here they have 6 points. There's another 13 points, which is now 71 if I'm not mistaken. And then here they get another 10 points, which is now 81 points. Okay, I hope I did not forget anything. That is just the photo journal. They already have 20 points more than we, but they also have like 2 different, oh no, the species, they have the most signables, so they actually get another 7 points. And then they have the greatest variety of species, that's another 7 points. And then they have 2 different insect tokens, that's another 3 points. And they have the most books, so they get another 5 points. And now I forgot a few things because I'm second for everything, so I do get another 6 points for... no, I don't have any signables, so I don't get anything there. But I do get 3 points for the species variety, second rank. But I also get 2 points deducted for having the least publications. So if I'm not mistaken, the score at the end is 62 for me and 103 for the crew. So wow, did we lose. We lost badly, but the crew is a very difficult opponent to conquer in this game. So yeah, well, that was my solo playthrough of Birdwatcher, which is quite similar to the multiplayer game, except for the entire crew actions and a little bit of change during the setup. So, but how do I like the game? Well, let me tell you, the components are really good. The boards are really thick and durable, as are the insect tokens. Also, the cards have a nice quality. They actually have a pretty decent quality. Also, the rulebook is written quite well and has a nice small format. Let me show you, so it doesn't take up too much table space. I enjoyed it. It could have been twice the size, but it isn't. That is very nice. The general visual design is wonderful. Not only do the bird cards look beautiful, also having all your possible actions under the tree on your player board is even better than a player aid card. This game just has a nice table presence, in my opinion. Very, very well done. The theme is wonderful and carries through the game quite well. Running into the jungle to scare the birds into the clearing, attracting them to your tree with your bird call, and then scaring off a bird with your flash when you take a photo of a bird. The game doesn't just have a good theme, it is quite thematic. Birdwatcher is really simple to learn, with just a few actions to keep in mind, but has some nice depth regarding its decisions. You always need to let a bird go when you take a photo of one. Also, the opponent can take one from you, at least in a multiplayer game. Also, you definitely need to decide whether you want to collect larger sets that may be hard to get, or collect more smaller sets that involve less risk. And the publication cards also need to be considered. So it's quite an involved game, which I enjoy. The player agency is high in this game. Also, the journal cards and insect token mix up the formula. The game can become quite tactical here, more than it seems at first sight. Although the insect tokens are quite straightforward, they are also really helpful for taking more actions. I was not able to do it this game, but they can be really helpful. This makes the expensive actions a bit more worthwhile, which is good. The solo mode is definitely good. There's just a little upkeep and the game plays quite smoothly. The different difficulty point levels are a good addition as well. One downside is that the AI takes way too many publication cards. It's hardly worth it to go for them yourself when playing solo if you want to have like the most books, the most publications here. You see, they have like 6 this round, I had like 1, right? I could have taken more, but then I couldn't have taken as many birds. So this is kind of difficult in a solo game. I don't know if they could have balanced that a little bit differently. All in all, despite some nice ideas, it is still quite a basic set collection game. You need to collect sets of birds, interrupted by the occasional journal card. That's pretty much it. If you have played other set collection games, this game doesn't revolutionize this genre. It of course doesn't have to, but that also means that it caters towards a more casual audience, which is totally fine. Unfortunately, the publication cards are quite luck-based and situational. They don't give a whole lot of points without a fitting context. So it could be in a multiplayer game that you can't work with these publications, but the person after you can just use 2 actions to take a publication card and get 8 points. That's it. And that doesn't seem quite 100% balanced to me. The last thing I want to mention that I really like is the achievements here. So if you play solo, then you have like this little achievement list, and it says like complete set King of Saxony. I had that. Complete like all the complete sets, or do you have all 5 insects, no insect tokens at all, 5 of any single insect, so you can try also to get these achievements. Like more and more games within the past few years have started like adding that in, and I really like that. So, would I suggest the game to you? Well, that depends. This is a very solid set collection game with some cool ideas and a really beautiful theme. But if you're a more seasoned board gamer, this game might not bring quite enough to the table for you. That is something to keep in mind. But this is generally a beautiful and good game that serves very well as an involved filler game. That's how I would call it. Its strongest suits are the theme, its table presence, and its approachability. It's pretty much a gateway game. Well, you made it to the end of my review of the game Birdwatcher. As usual, I would like to thank you all for your support. That means so much to me. I especially want to thank my patrons who are generously supporting me on Patreon. The biggest thanks go out to Thecos, who's my biggest supporter at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. If you would like to support me as well, check out the link to my Patreon in this video's description. There you can see the tiers I've come up with. As usual, I'm always thankful for a like, comment, and especially a subscription. And you can also join my Discord server if you'd like to hang out with me and my community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.